All right,
Cool.
Todd, take it away. What's going on in the market these
Awesome.
days?
Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Today we're going over the market statistics for the greater Phoenix metropolitan area for the week ending December 8th, 2026. Let's see what we got. 82 days closed on market this past week, a 4.04 month supply. Absorption rate was at 24.75. Average list price this past week, 762,239. Average sale price this past week, 657,766. And our list price to sale price retention at 97.11. Active inventory declined a little bit. 24,660 units are currently available. Pending is sitting at 3,379 and closed units at 1,378. Looking at new listings taken this past week, it's not bad. 1,667 listings. That could have been a lot worse than that. But again, this is the holidays. Days on market for active is at 92 and closed is at 82. Notice how close those are together. Taking a look at the price ranges, you can see in red those price ranges that did have a contraction this past week in the number of units available. And for the total, our $0 to $600,000 pricing represents 68.07% of the entire market. And our $600,000 to $1 million price range is at 18.57, a little bit of a contraction there. And our $1 million and up market is at 13.36. So taking a look, I will tell everybody later, probably Thursday at the latest, the month-end market statistics will be coming out for the month of December. So keep an eye out for those on your closed Facebook groups. But here we go. So taking a look at new listings, last year we did 1,612. 2 years ago, 1,400. This year, 1,667, same week. What that's just saying is that this, as we've been talking about the delay in the summer market, really not showing up until August, this is still continuing. So the market is not off. There's no off switch that's going on right now. The market is still there. So let's not keep our heads in the sand. Looking at active inventory, 24,660 units. We had 21,789 last year. So we're about 13% more inventory. As we get into the good markets and the markets are sustainable, the dramatic differences between the market, the inventory 2 years ago or 3 years ago to today is going to, that number is going to become much smaller because of a much more stable market that we're going into. But that is comprised of 417 properties in the coming soon category, 18,386 in the single family non-distressed, 2,735 new home construction, and 24,235 overall non-distressed properties. Taking a look at pending, this is where we gauge the number of buyers in the marketplace. 3,379, 3,500 last week, 3,000 last year, 27. So we've got, if you look at this, we have 800, somewhere between 400 to 800 more people in escrow right now than we did this same week last year. So, or 2 years ago for that matter. So the market is good. People are entering into escrow. Sure, some properties are not making it through escrow, but a majority of them actually still are. So 1,378 is where we are month to date. Last year, we were only at 1,290. This is for December. So again, first week of the month, we can't really tell. But to start off with a green number, that's actually pretty nice. 4-month supply is another good sign. It's a good sign that the market's continuing to heat up. If you watch over the last 4 months, these have been going from a 5 months, a 4.8 month supply, and now we're getting down to 4. Remember, under 4 is a seller's market, over 6 months supply is a buyer's market. So we are firmly on the doorstep of potentially returning into a seller's marketplace. Looking at median sale price at $495, that's a jump. So we're going to kind of take a look at why that took place. But if you look at the average sale price, we jumped from $563, and this is only this past week. Remember, week over week, but we jumped from $563 to $657, which is really going to move that middle part of the card deck up a little bit. And I think that's why that happened. We'll see next week if it returns. Taking a look again, market is pretty stable. It has been at 80 days, but what's been happening is our inventory for active has been coming down. So instead of having longer inventory taking longer to sell, it's not those properties that are coming on the market aren't taking longer to sell. They're selling with, and closing within that 80 to 90-day frame. And the last number for this week is list price to sale price retention. Sellers gave up a little bit more, but it's still 97. So you're still in that 2 to 3% discount from the list price at the time the offer's submitted. So you have to think about that. I'm going to stay on this one until I hear people doing it in the marketplace. We're also going to have to check MLS list price to sale price retention in the community that you're about to put the offer in on, and then also check to see what the seller paid concessions were, because you really need those two numbers, Mike. We talk about that all the time. So those are the numbers for the week. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate